Xbox as a company has recently put a lot of their console-exclusive games on computers. Their largest franchises have had new releases on Steam and on the Xbox desktop app. But there's one game I have been waiting years for it to be re-released after it was shut down with Games for Windows Live. It has not been added to Gamepass. A game that came out in the 90s is on Gamepass. A game that was originally on the Xbox 360 and has been ported to Windows, that was one of Microsoft's games that they made themselves, is just now a piece of abandonware. The game was later ported to Xbox One in a collection pack. This certified hood classic is not a first-person shooter. There are absolutely no guns in it. It doesn't take place in some giant sci-fi fantasy universe, that I know of at least. But it was made by a platforming game giant that was acquired by Microsoft. In current day, they're making Sea of Thieves and Battletoads. It wasn't a game I would usually play, but the last game I ever got from Blockbuster. This game is Viva Pinata. Viva Pinata is the gardening simulator-esque game where you attract animals that are actually pinatas into your garden. This is one of those black hole games where your time magically disappears when you're just trying to play a few minutes of it. It is incredibly fun and has some really nice depth to it. Like having to choose what your garden's going to specialize in. You can't have every single pinata in your garden, and some have different prerequisites to visit your garden compared to others. There are some really amazing little secrets you can find, like secret evolution paths for some of your animals. I remember being a small little dude and writing down what I needed to do to get a special variation of flutterscotch, and placing it right next to my alarm clock right before I went to bed so I'd wake up tomorrow and actually do it. My favorite pinata is probably the hippopotamus, known as the Chippopotamus? You have to deal with these really edgy versions of pinatas that try to ruin your garden, but if you can tame them under these special conditions, you don't have to deal with them anymore. There's day-night cycles, there's aquatic animals, there's animals that do better if you have trees in your garden, and there's predator-prey relationships between stuff. Like if you have a bunnycomb, a pret's tail, which is a fox, will come over and eat them. But that is part of their prerequisite to becoming a resident of your garden. You can later automate your garden to a certain point where you buy workers to help you. They still go home and see their families though, so if something's nocturnal, you kind of have to do it by yourself. There's a few nods to Rare Studios' other games like Banjo-Kazooie. There's a bunch of different shopkeepers, but my favorite's probably Arthur, because he's a funny milkman and he's kind of cute and handsome. It's such an amazing game, and the people that have already played it will tell you the game is addicting. But if you don't want to find a copy of it and boot up your Xbox 360, there's no real way to play it. It's not on Game Pass, and it really should be. I would buy the game for $10, outside of my already there Game Pass subscription. Just come on Microsoft, come on Rare. Give it a working Windows port, please.